Hello, welcome to Basic Musical Notation. My name is Gail Caruth, and the information for this presentation was obtained from the Method Behind the Music website. Music is often thought of as a free-form random art. However, musical works follow rules and techniques to make the music organized and understandable without losing the beauty. These rules and techniques are based in music theory. Music theory consists of rules that make music sound pleasing, allows it to be written and played, and is the creation of years of effort and creativity. The staff is the basis for written music. It consists of 5 lines with 4 spaces between them and what the notes are presented on. The clefs. The treble clef, also referred to as the G clef because it curls around the G line. The treble clef begins with the first letter as E. Each successive line and space is the next letter in the musical alphabet. The staff ends with the last line as an F. Many mnemonic devices exist to help a person remember which line and space is which. One of the most common phrases to remember the names of the lines is E, every, G, good, boy, B, D, does, F, and fine. To remember the spaces, just remember that they spell face starting with the bottom line. The bass clef, also known as the F clef, because it is the line it locates the note F. Because the same musical alphabet as the treble clef, however, the letters start in different places. Instead of an E, the bottom line is G, and the letters proceed logically from there. Again, simple mnemonics can be used to remember the names of the notes. The grand staff is the combination of the bass and the treble clefs. They are combined by a brace on the left and lines on the right. This becomes a grand staff with a wide range of pitches that can be noted, and is often used in piano music because of this wide range. Measures. The vertical lines on the staff mark the measures. Measured, divide, and organize music. The thick double line at the end marks the beginning or the end of a piece. Measures are sometimes marked with numbers to make navigating the piece easier. Notes. Different pitches are named by letters. The musical alphabet is in ascending order by pitch: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. After G, the cycle repeats again. Notes written on the staff. Notes are centered on the lines or in the spaces between the lines. Stems on the notes can go either up on the right or down on the left. Ledger lines. Ledger lines extend above and below the staff, allowing for higher or lower notes to be shown than would otherwise fit on the staff. These notes also follow the same musical alphabet pattern as the staff does. Note durations. All notes have length. However, the amount of beats they get depends on the time signatures, so only relative notes durations will be discussed here. The top graph shows the hierarchy of note values. As you can see, the top note is a whole note, then the second is a half note, below that is a quarter note, then an eighth note, and then 16th notes. The middle graph shows 16th notes and eighth notes. The bars indicate whether it's an eighth note or a 16th note. 2 bars give it the 16th. And the bottom also indicates eighth notes and 16th notes. Dotted notes. A dot beside the note increases its duration by half the original length. For example, a half note, as shown on the left, is worth 2 beats, and you add the dot, gives it 1 more beat, holding it for 3 counts. Let's look at rests. Rests are simply places where the musician does not play. They also have equal value as the corresponding notes of duration. The first one to the left is a whole rest. Then we have a half rest, then a quarter rest, and a 16th rest. Accidentals. Accidentals modify the pitch of a note by increasing or decreasing the note by 1/2 step. For example, a flat shown first, then a sharp, then below is a natural, which cancels out any previous sharps or flats, and to return the pitch to the normal. Ties and slurs. Ties and slurs connect 2 notes or more together. Ties, the first on the left, connects notes of the same pitch, forming a longer note. On the right is an example of a slur, which connects 3 notes of different pitches and means to play the notes without breaks. Articulation. First, on the left, we have a staccato, which means to play the note very short and detached. Next is an accent, which means to hit the note harder or louder than you might normally play. A mercato is a combination of a staccato and an accent on the note, providing a hard, sharp sound. Followed by a tenuto, which means to hold the note for its full value, don't let up. We have a sforzanza, which is a sudden, strong accent. And finally a fermata, often referred to as a bird's eye, by the little symbol above the note, means to hold the note a little bit longer, approximately twice its normal value. Next we have the dynamics. On the left is a pianissimo, which means very soft, followed by a P, which is piano, means to play softly. Next is mezzo piano, means moderately soft, followed by mezzo forte, moderately loud, forte, to play loudly, and fortissimo means to play very loudly. The last 2 symbols are called a crescendo and decrescendo. A crescendo means playing a number of notes getting gradually louder, or a decrescendo, playing a number of notes getting gradually softer. We have these symbols called repeats. The top one is what is shown at the beginning, to repeat and come back to, or when you get to the right is when you begin the repeat and go back to the left repeat. Sometimes the del signo can mean where you must go to the sign below, which is a del signo sign, and followed by a coda, you follow with a del signo sign. Time signatures, also referred to as meter signatures, tell the musician how many beats per measure. The top number is the number of beats, and the bottom tells you which note. So in this example, 4 quarter notes get a beat for the full value of the measure. In conclusion, music must be written before it can be read, comprehended, and performed by musicians. To do this, a simple system of notation has been developed that gives musicians the information they need to play the music as the composer intended it to be played. As stated by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, music is the universal language of mankind. Are there any questions?
Wow, it's amazing to know the language of music. And can you go back the slide number 4 again?
Uh-huh.
Uh, could you please explain the difference between two lines,
Sure.
one that start with E and another one start with G, please?
Yes. If you can imagine, when you have the grand staff, what you have in the middle would be a middle C and only one line. So that takes you through the width of the piano. And the middle C would be the middle, and everything to the right would be the top or the treble clef, and the bottom from the left from the middle is the bass clef. And we have E as the bottom note and G as the bottom note on the bass clef. So if you take that G, you have a space, which would be A, and then the line A is the top, and then above that is a space B. Then the middle would be a line, another space would be D, and then you get to E on the treble clef.
Oh, okay. It is used for only the paid piano, or this note can used for every type of music instrument?
Well, it depends on what you're playing. Typically, the piano will use the grand staff, but an instrument such as the flute, having higher notes, would only have notes in the treble clef and no notes in the bass clef. Or a lower instrument might not have any notes in the treble clef because the instrument could not reach the high pitches.
Oh, wow. Music language is kind of like a wonderful because you need to add some more and make more rhythm. Wow, it's
It
great to
is. It's
know. Thank
fascinating.
you.
It's
Mm,
like a total, it's a language you play with an instrument in your hand.
mhm. Mm, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
if I can find more information, I can go for your reference, right?
Yes, I would take a look at the website. Then it's entitled Method Beyond the Music website.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.